Hello, my name is Desiree, and this video is a reading for the energy of Sagittarius. For this series, I'm using 3 decks. I'm using the Talisman Oracle. This is the Tattoo Tarot by Mega Mundin, and this is the African Tarot by Victoria Iva. So I'm going to set the tarot aside for a bit, and this series I'm doing something a little different in that I'm drawing the Oracle card first. So I'm going to draw the Oracle card, and that's going to give us the main energies that we're going to work with. And then we will pull some tarot cards and get the reading going. All right. So I just want to make sure I'm just getting the word out that everybody has all 12 zodiac signs in their birth chart due to the house system. So if you don't have a placement, a planet or luminary in a particular sign, you do have a house in a particular sign. So, and if you're curious to see where your Sagittarius lies, there's a link at the bottom of the description box, all the way at the bottom, and that is the website that I use to pull charts. And you just need your birth date, time, and location. Okay, Sagittarius, you have leadership from our Talisman Oracle. And here is a close-up of your card. And one of the things that the author of this card wants us to do is to focus and meditate on this card when we are wanting to call on the power or the energy of leadership. So I'm going to read what she has to say about this card. And I'll show you the talisman, or rather sigil. She calls them talismans, H-I-J-K-L. It's in alphabetical order. But I feel like they're sigils. And she also provides some tracing paper in which we can work with her symbolism to make our own sigils. So she has this sigil. Oh, it's in the squares right here at the bottom. So we've got the 2 sigils right here. Oops. The camera is backwards, and I can't ever get used to that. Okay, leadership. You have been placed in a situation where you have to take the lead. This newfound responsibility can be frightening, but it offers you an opportunity to see your vision come to life. Set boundaries and focus on the bigger picture. You're able to brighten up the spirit of those around you, and you see their potential. You have the confidence, decisiveness, empathy, and insight that inspires others. In the course of your life, you have gained valuable experience and respect, and now it's your chance to offer guidance. Ego battles are no match for you. You've mastered self-discipline and creative humor, and have let go of the need to micromanage the small stuff. So this is kind of like a mantra, I guess you could say. Talisman. Talisman power. Use this card whenever you need help believing in your leadership skills. You can use it when you experience difficulties as a parent or head of a social group or organization. Envision the stamina of a tiger and channel his firm but gentle spirit. Take a few deliberate steps ahead and allow the doubts to dissolve. And your mantra is, I offer guidance. So that's what a leadership is. A leader is. He guides. So perhaps at this point in time of your in your life, Sagittarius, you might be being called to sort of take the reins of a situation. And sometimes that can be daunting. Sometimes we don't feel like we're quite ready for it. And sometimes we may have been waiting for it for a long time. But however, with comes leadership, there is just a certain sometimes we can feel a little less confident in our abilities, or when things go wrong, we, of course, we're going to feel like it's our fault that things are wrong, or maybe we were kind of worried about the team that we're working with. So there's a lot of stresses that get placed on the person in charge. All right, so let's see what's going on with the tarot for you, Sagittarius. 3 of Wands. That's a good card, I think, for leadership. The Hanged Man. Okay, another good card for leadership, I would say. And Eight of Cups. Okay, so the Tattoo Tarot is more of a pip deck. The artist didn't put a lot of clues as to what these cards mean. However, some of the cards have certain nods, little nods to RWS. I have a tea sitting over here on my hot plate. Okay. And so, of course, we have Major Arcana, the Hanged Man. And I'm putting our Oracle card right here because I don't have enough space, or my camera is actually not wide enough to see the entire table. So, the Hanged Man. This card usually asks for us to look at things from a different viewpoint, look at things in a different way. And usually this... the head is usually illuminated, and it's sort of asking us. And one time I saw a card where the third eye is illuminating, right? And it's asking us to look at things in a different perspective, and maybe the perspective from a whole different thought process, right? Look at it in the perspective of, say, like a real bird's eye view, or a creator, how a creator would look at something versus how a lay person would look at something. When I say creator, I mean like an artist or someone who's putting something together. You know, they kind of know the ins and outs of the thing that they're working with. They know what it's made of. They know its component parts, where pieces fit together, where the weaknesses are. And this card is calling us to look at things in that sort of manner. Look at it from a very broad perspective, but also be able to hone in on certain different things. And so we've also have the Three of Wands fire and Eight of Cups water here. And for me, eights, when working with numerology, I always feel that eights are like is basically a 4 double, and the 4 is a sturdy foundation. Let me switch your view here so you can see your beautiful cards. The 4 is like a foundation, but yet the 8 is more sturdy. It's been through more. It knows a little bit more, so it's learned some things on the way. So the 8 is sort of a wizened 4. And so I see this as being very positive. This leadership role that you're going to step into, it's going to test your abilities, but I think it's going to test your abilities in the area of being able to look at things from a different point of view. And that might even be looking at it from a standpoint of all the people that are involved, not just your viewpoint. Take into consideration everyone who is putting their energies into this project, these people who you're leading. Take into consideration what their ideas and what their thoughts and how they think the best course of action would be. And I do see that there are some very stable emotions on your part, very stable feelings and beliefs in your abilities to lead these people, and your beliefs in this project as well. So let us pull some cards from the African Tarot and see how the deeper message in here. Okay, now this deck is by Victoria Iva, and I saw this deck and I love the colors, and that was my favorite thing about this deck. So I bought this deck, and then she came out with a second deck called the Black Tarot, and the artwork is totally different. Totally different. Then I started following her on Instagram, and the art that she puts out on Instagram is nothing like this African Tarot. So, but anyway, nonetheless, the art on these cards are beautiful. I just love the bold colors and the shapes that she uses. Okay, so now let me show you the beauty of this. All right, Sagittarius. Ace of Wands. Awesome. Nine of Wands in reverse. Now this deck is RWS. Six of Wands. Look at all this fire in this column here. That's what we need to see. 10 of Discs. 8 of Discs in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. The Hierophant. I like that under there. And Strength. And then we've got the King of Cups. I'm going to put this to the side. Okay. So interestingly, we have two major arcana under this Eight of Cups. And this Eight of Cups just speaks of the sturdiness of your emotions, the sturdiness of the feelings you have towards this leadership opportunity, this leadership role that you're taking. And then we have the Hierophant and Strength here. Hierophant is card number 5, Strength is 8. And these two together are pretty interesting because I feel that you're stepping into this role and it's almost like you were made for it, right? You're stepping into this role and you're very comfortable in what you're doing and the task that you're undertaking. And you have the absolute desire and that charisma that people want to see in a leader. One thing that is troubling me here is this King of Cups, though. We have to remember King of Cups is air of water. And so he's naturally very analytical. So his emotions are filtered through the fact that he is of air first, right? So he's very analytical. And I think what this is trying to tell us here is that don't get too overly analytical in your pursuit of this leadership role. Okay. Now we do want to separate what it means to, I think it's an important distinction to make that being a leader, the essence of being a leader is to lead people. And in order to lead people, we've got to relate to them. We've got to understand them. And then they have to know that we're there for them, that we care about them, and that we have their best interest at heart. And so I think it's very important that when you lead from that manner, you need to lead with your heart. Now, project manager and leader are going to be two different aspects of the same makeup. I guess you could say that's not coming out exactly how I want it, but you need to have these qualities of a leader, but also of a project manager, also using your intellect. And the reason why you're here in the first place is because you understand the project. So the project and the people, while they are dependent on one another, they need different things from you. Okay. And that is one of the things that I feel that you're going to have to juggle. And I do kind of feel I'm not quite understanding why this King of Cups is in reverse, because I feel like this would be a great card to have, because the King of Cups is very analytical, but he is that feeling king as well. And but I'm leaning towards this message of this part is, in aspects of being a leader, not to be overly analytical in it. Sort of lead with your heart and allow your compassion that you have for the people that are helping bring this project to fruition. Allow that project to help you, guide you in leading the people aspect of it. Okay. Now, the project side I see here with this Three of Wands, I do feel this is going to be a successful project. I see with the Six of Wands here. But with the Six of Wands, we do need to remember that there can be that aspect of taking too much credit. You know, there can be that side just that darker side of the Six of Wands, and that we kind of let things go to our head. We don't remember the little people, you know, that type of thing. And so it's going to be it's going to be real important for you to ensure that the goings on of the project don't your let's see, your status as the leader don't over step out of bounds in relations to the project here. Don't let your superiority, but I don't mean that in a harsh kind of way, just the superiority, meaning in the strictest sense of it, that you're at the top of the totem pole, that you have the experience and the know-how. That's what I mean by the superiority. Don't let that superiority overrun what needs to be done here, and don't let your the desire to be known, to be thanked, to get the credit. Don't let that overstep the project, the overall goal here, the meaning of the project, the goal of the project, right? And also, you're gonna have to be real careful about the overworking yourself. The Nine of Wands is pretty close to the Ten of Wands, being that there's just going to be a lot for you to do, and it's going to be very easy for that extra wand to get stacked up on top of you, in which you're burdened and you've taken on too much. So just ensure that just ensure that you get the right people on your team that can help carry this burden for you. And you don't want to overwork the people either. So like I said, it's going to be a very delicate balance of knowing the project and of knowing the people here. And basically, that's just what this Hanged Man is trying to say here, is that you're going to have to sort of work in both worlds, look at things from different points of view to really understand and really take on this leadership role and make this a successful project. 10 of Discs here, which is the 10 of Pentacles, is showing that there is going to be an amazing new beginning with this project once it's complete. We do have the 8 of Discs in reverse here. And what I'm getting from this, because it's related to the Hanged Man, is that you don't want to overburden yourself with too much analysis, okay? You don't really want to be like in this Queen of Wands situation where you're too focused on analyzing the situation. You really want to kind of let things flow and kind of deal with them as they come, and just don't overburden yourself with too much of working on both sides, you know, just that over analysis paralysis. Now, we don't have air in this reading at all, except for this King right here. So just take that into consideration as well, is that because that element is missing from this reading, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to need it, because I think that is part of getting this project going, is your abilities to run this project, your know-how to run this project. And if you don't know how to run this project, just make sure you build that team. Make sure you have that support behind you that can help you run this project. And you know, and it's important to say that not every leader knows how to do every part of the project. He is more of directing people, getting people to move in the directions, getting them to work in ways that they can complete the project. He doesn't necessarily need to know how to pour a foundation, right? He doesn't really need to know how to spackle a drywall, but he does need to know how to get everybody to work together. He needs to make sure the materials are there. He needs to know what materials, or he can get someone on his team who knows all of that. And so that is the message that I'm getting here for you, Sagittarius. So just remember, being a leader is it's going to take some balancing. And just remember the important aspect of that is being able to look at things in different ways, from different viewpoints, taking into consideration what your people want, and then taking into consideration what the project needs, right? So it's a good balancing act. But as with everything, we live and we learn, and this is just going to be another project notch, another notch in your belt, and ways that you will gain wisdom. So thank you so much for watching, and take care.